Hiya again, welcome to Off the Cuff Reviews. Bit of a glint on the poster there in the background. I hope that's okay for you. Today I'm going to be reviewing an album by the band Bedhead called What Fun Life Was. Here it is. What Fun Life Was, or merged together as one word. This was released in 1994 on Trance Syndicate Records. It's another one of those, another band that I was introduced to via a online Galaxy 500 stroke Lunar chat forum, if you will. People got to wax lyrical about other music they liked, and this was one of those bands that a lot of Galaxy 500 fans seem to like, who came about some years after Galaxy 500. There are some similarities, I guess. But anyway, there's more of a post-grunge feel, if you like, to Bedhead, I think. Whatever you'd like to label them, slowcore. Again, these labels not always that useful, really. I think they're a bit narrow, and some of these bands are a bit more than just one-dimensional. Shoegaze or slowcore or slacker rock bands. They consisted of Matt Cadane and Bubba Cadane, brothers from Texas, from Wichita Falls they were, and the other members of the band were Chris Wheat, who was the bass player, Trini Martinez on drums, and Tench Locks on guitars. The two Cadane brothers played guitar, and Matt was on lead vocals. What else can I say? Yeah, well, the album starts with the opening track, Raft, which is quite a mellow number. Guitar, bass, shuffling drums. It sounds a bit Galaxy, actually. It sounds a bit Galaxy 500, so maybe there is something to be said for that comparison. A bit grungy, a bit more grungy than the Galaxies. More introspective than your usual grunge sort of music, and I think generally Bedhead were deemed to be more reflective and more generally more restrained than that form of music. Yeah, so Life Raft is quite pretty in places, actually, and then there's a lot of Bedhead songs it builds up and gets louder. There are quiet bits and there are louder bits. The whole album is kind of got a unproduced feel. On the sleeve notes, it's quite telling that it says recorded by, not produced by, recorded by Paul Quigg and Bedhead. I think that's what they're kind of going for, literally a garage feel. Either that or they didn't have the funds to record it better, inverted commas, but I'm not sure. I think they were going for more of an understated. Track number 2, Haywire, slow down, sounds a bit like a slow down wedding present, as in the band, as in David Gedge's band. And then the vocals are, as always, they're low in the mix. Matt Cadane's vocals, you could argue, lost in the mix, but it's kind of effective. Obviously, you can't really say it's not important what he sings, but it's usually indecipherable what he sings. Thrashy parts in Haywire, sounding like a pissed off Villains, I think. Track number 3, Bedside Table. This is slowed down track, more introspective, quite pretty again. Stops and starts, more jangly. You can't really hear the words. There's the quiet and the loud. It's a bit colour by numbers, indie, I find this one. Join the Dots, 90s indie. No disrespect, it's just not one of my favorite tracks on the album. And then track number 4 is the Unpredictable Landlord. This is a bit faster, speeding up with double time drumming by Trini Martinez. Quite interesting drumming actually on this album. Quite more important to the band than you once feel. Then Crushing is a nice lo-fi understated number, bass and guitars playing similar sort of line really. Some nice percussion by Trini Martinez again in this one. The extra tambourine or the extra cymbal every now and again, just adding to the flow of the song. And then a track called Unfinished. Very bare and stark, this one. The guitars and vocals to start it off, then the bass comes in, and then it goes into a really pretty bridge, or middle eight, or what you like to call it. So yeah, they are capable of these, the quiet and louds and the pretty bits. Track number 7, Powder, one of my favorites on the album. Strummed electric and starts with strummed electric guitar and vocals. The lyrics barely audible, very low in the mix. This generally got a really unproduced feel to it, and then it gets going, gets into a bit of a groove, if you like, livened up by the drumming. Always got that sort of feeling that the band go for that don't try too hard mantra, if you will. Don't show off, because they, it's not really show-offy sort of music. Introspective and regretful feel to this track called Powder. Plenty of quiets and louds, culminating in some carefully controlled wailing guitars that are kind of, nicely controlled in the mix there. Mix inverted commas. There's a repetitive rhythm guitar going through it, which is quite hypnotic. So a nice track is Powder. Track number 8 is Foaming Love. An interesting guitar part start, this one. Quite a little bit atonal, but going into a folky feel and a bit jangly. One of those tracks that sneaks up on you. Not sure about it at first, but ends up being a bit of a, killer track. Creeps up on you. With this shuffling little drummer boy drumming as well. Very good. Very cool. Track number 9, To the Ground. Very jangly. Quite jolly again. Sounds a bit like a jam. Like they're just farting around in the studio a little bit. Or not even in the studio, as I say, in the garage, I should say. Very unproduced. Complete with the quiet bits and the loud bits, and a euphoric jangly guitar solo, which is nice. Number 10, the penultimate track on the album, called Living Well. This has got more of a slowcore Pavement meets the Verlaines or even Cracker feel to it. Quite thrashy, this number. And the last track on the album, Wind Down, is a quieter and slower start to the song. Arpeggio guitar and vocal, and then gets quite full on guitars in your face, and builds up to a quite a thrashy, euphoric crescendo. So there you have it. What Fun Life Was. Here it is again. I'll show you again without the glow. What Fun Life Was, released in '94. I think I'm going to give this again. I'm going to give it. I'll give it between 7.5 and 7 3/4 out of 10. That's what I think from me personally. So there you go. That's the Bedhead debut. Thank you for listening. I am Jules Brown. Off the cuff reviews. Always good to have you on board. If you'd like to subscribe, then click on the subscribe button, and any comments are welcome. And I hope you're doing fine. And Tune in again soon. All right. Thank you for listening.